Hi, we are on our Oregon, Washington coast trip, and we're in Astoria now, which is on the border of Washington and Oregon. Pretty cute town. You can see outside. We're eating at a Nicaraguan restaurant. They have gallo pinto, which is like a rice and beans, and sweet plantains, and I'm just getting some veggies with that. But I'm also on this trip going to try several local beers. So this one is the Buoy IPA from Astoria, this town. Let's see here. The description says, full of flavor. Go big without the bitter bite. Nothing overboard. Well balanced. Lovingly dry hopped with Meridian and Crystal hops for a rich citrusy finish. Alright. So. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Oh, and the name of this restaurant is Tres Bros. But here is local IPA. Ah, that's good. Nice chilled glass. Not too bitter, not too hoppy. I mean, hoppy for a beer because it's an IPA, but relatively speaking for an IPA, it's actually pretty mild. It's good. Well, we're going to be going to Cape Disappointment and staying there for a few days, checking out this area, and then going down Oregon coast, and then coming back up. Check out some breweries and some restaurants on the way. Alright, so we got stir-fried veggies, sweet plantains, gallo pinto, looks amazing, some grilled cheese, and of course my IPA. Bon appetit. Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, this was really yummy. I'll definitely check out that restaurant next time we're here in Astoria. Well, this bridge spans the Columbia River at the Washington and Oregon coast. It's a really special place, really cool place that I'm going to share with you in this video. And this video is the first in a series of videos called Brews in the PNW, where I'll continue exploring the beauty of the PNW and also try to find some pretty good brews. And the reason for that is, well, I haven't had a beer in 13 years up until about a month ago because it would give me a bad cough that would last a while. But recently, I found out that I can drink beer and not get that cough. I think that maybe my body's just happier and healthier now. So, I've been enjoying the joy of having a simple brew. Well, there are lots of brews in the PNW, lots of breweries, and people brew at home too. I've tried that. I can tell a story about that sometime. But I want to make some videos exploring the breweries that the PNW has to offer, particularly the hoppy beers, because we have lots of hops growing here in the mountains. So you're welcome to come join me on these Brews in the PNW videos. This trip is a van trip that my wife and Doopy took for multiple days. We stayed at Cape Disappointment. I'll explain what that name, where that name comes from. But here is one of the lighthouses with its signature double white flash every 30 seconds. Doopy's in the darkness there. And this is the twilight. It is very windy here. Here's a cool hack that we figured out. So it gets really cold in this Chevy panel van because of the windows. And so what we did was we have a couple of these thermarests for sitting or sleeping on. But what we did was we just figured out you could just put this, well, kind of hard to do with one hand. All right, here we go. You just put this behind the seatbelts, but even if you don't have seatbelts, probably work for other vehicles too. This happens to be like the right thickness to just squeeze in here. Like this. And here, I'm gonna pause it for a sec. And voila! You got insulation and privacy, and it was definitely like way warmer last night. It's like the best time I've slept camping ever. So I just want to share that. That was a cool hack. You could probably do it with other vehicles too if you're sleeping and it's got windows and it gets cold. Well, we are at Cape Disappointment State Park. It's one of my favorite state parks. It is on the southern western tip of Washington State, bordering Oregon. So that's Oregon over there. Cool lighthouse. But this cape is called Cape Disappointment because some rich guy tried to come up here and find a river to, I guess, trade inland. And he searched all the way up and down the coast up here. He was coming from, I think, California. And couldn't find a river. But came here and thought this was it. But then he tricked himself into thinking that it's a bay, not a river. And so he named this Cape Disappointment. But in reality, he was right. It is a river. It's the Columbia River. It's actually a really big river. I mean, it's so big. Coming from here to there. But this is a very treacherous waterway. You can see here there's some jetties going out. There's rock piles going out that way. And a long jetty over there on the Oregon side. This area in this region is called the graveyard of the Pacific because so many ships have shipwrecked here. And lots of sailors have lost their lives. I think it's something like 500 shipwrecks or something like that. It's one of the deadliest places in the Pacific. So, graveyard of the Pacific, right here. In fact, that beach is named after a shipwreck. Some ship named Benson, so it's called Benson Beach. And then we're gonna go hike to a place right over here called Dead Man's Hollow. You can guess why. But the reason why it's so deadly is because this Columbia River, it's coming from draining water from the Cascade Mountains where I hike. All that snow melt. It shoots out into the Pacific like a fire hose. and it carries sediment with it, and it creates sandbars. And those sandbars, they change their position and depth regularly. So that mouth right there is particularly treacherous to navigate. In fact, there's people that their job is to ride a small boat out to the big boats and then pilot the big boat through the mouth of the river safely. And that's like their whole job, and they get paid well for that. There's only a couple of them. And they live here. They just live here, and they just pilot boats coming in and then going out. Well, we're next to this Lewis and Clark museum here. And actually, through the window, you can see one of the lighthouse lights that helped increase visibility of the lighthouse. And we're going to take a closer look at that. And this is where Lewis and Clark, I think, maybe finished their journey. Pretty sure, because this is about as far as you can go. Not sure what kind of bird this is. It might be a young bald eagle with his head not completely white yet, but I'm not sure. There are some bald eagles hanging around this area. I'm in the Lewis and Clark Museum, and they have some whale bones. This is from a gray whale. Here's a spine. This looks like a human's bone. It is very similar. We have a transverse process. Spinous process is what you can feel in your back. There's little facet joints, and this is actually where the nerves run in the canal. And then this is the vertebral body with cartilage. It's fossil. Oh, what? Actually, this looks like fossilized cartilage. Not sure what's going on here. But there's the edge of the bone, and the disc would be here. That's pretty cool. Over here, we can see the lighthouse light. This thing is it allows, it's like a whole set of prisms. I'm gonna zoom out. It's a whole set of prisms to take the light from inside. So you put some kind of, I guess, burning oil burning light in there, and then this uses prisms to send the light out horizontally out this way, so you can see the angle of the glass. It varies based on the distance, and then that sends the light out really far, because without this, the angles of the light rays from the burning source, they're like going up or going down. But with this, all of them are going horizontally, so it goes out farther. People can see farther. That made traveling along the coast much safer. So that's just pretty cool. Oh, this is cool. You can tell which lighthouse you're at by the rhythm of the lights and the colors. So we saw North Head last night. It had 2 white flashes every 30 seconds. We saw that one. Grays Harbor is where we are, alternates red and white every 15 seconds. There's a really good movie called The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson, and this actually plays a part in the movie. It's really cool. Highly recommend. Dead Man's Cove. We're gonna go to the Dead Man's Cove Trail. Dead Man's Cove Trail. Here we come. Here we are at Dead Man's Cove. I'm gonna give you a zoomed out view. It's low tide, so you can actually get all the way up to that tree. Oh, I wouldn't recommend that. That tree, you should leave that tree alone. Hey girl. Wow. That's some furious digging. This is the residence for the lighthouse keeper and the lighthouse keeper's assistant. Well, although it looks like the assistant's house is bigger than the head lighthouse keeper, and maybe there was a couple assistants. And then there's some general stores here and a chicken coop with a little chicken door. Like a doggy door, but for chickens, I guess. And then they lived here all year round, I guess, so that they could maintain the lighthouse, which we're gonna go check out the lighthouse. And there's the lighthouse. It's really windy. North Head Lighthouse. It's really cool. It's all white. It's got some oil houses where they store the fuel. It says here at Brewpub, 5 gallons of kerosene per night. Amazing. And it's still functional. We saw it when we came in last night, and it does 2 white lights every 30 seconds, like blink, blink. And then 30 seconds later it goes blink, blink. Really pretty. Here's the view from the cliff. You can see all the way out to the Columbia River. Columbia River is over that way. And that's what you would see every day on the lighthouse. We are at the Lost Brew, like a lost kangaroo, and here for another brew. This is a North Jetty brewery. It's the Leadbetter Red. It's an amber ale. So I'm gonna give this a shot. Oh, I haven't really drank non-IPA beers. Well, I've done a little bit, but trying to branch out a little bit. This one's more sweet and doesn't have that bitter bite to it. Also doesn't have the citrusy hop aroma, but it is yummy. But I think I like IPAs a lot. But this is good. North Jetty. So North Jetty, we saw the North Jetty from the Lewis and Clark museum. You could, that big jut of rock going out, that was the North Jetty. So that's what this brewery is named after. So thanks, North Jetty Brewery. Here we go. Got some nachos, salad. I've got a Reuben sandwich with French fries. This was definitely one of the highlight beers of the trip. I'm gonna look for that in the grocery store if I can find it. It felt good to disconnect and just enjoy being alive with my wife and Doobie, my doggy. This was a sunset on Long Beach, Washington. I've built a beach bonfire on this beach last year. It was warmer then and less windy. This beach is known for being very, very windy. And it was cold, so we spent most of the time just chilling in the van watching the sunset, but we got out for the very last bit here, where the orb of the sun goes over the horizon. Here we are on Cannon Beach, Oregon. It is way less windy here, and Doobie is still digging. Very enthusiastically. The beach is really cool. It's got like this fog coming off, I think, the beach and the water. It's like a marine layer or something. Well, there's supposed to be some big rocks over, I think that way, or it might be that way. No, I don't see any big rocks that way. But like, I've seen pictures of Cannon Beach where there's like these big mountains of rocks, but can't see it because it is foggy. But there's a lot of really cool birds here. So there's some seagulls that way, and then there's these little tiny guys. Try to get a closer look at them. Oh, there's some orange-billed with like long bills. And white feet. They look kind of funny. And then there's these little tiny guys. I'll try to get closer. I think these are called, well, I'm not sure. I think they're called plovers? I'm not sure. Ooh. These beautiful birds are actually the western sandpiper. And they nest in Alaska during the summertime, and they come down here during the wintertime. So I think these birds are headed back up north now. There's about 4 million of them that exist in the whole world. Well, here we are in Cannon Beach, and as part of the Brews in the PNW, stopping by Pelican Brewing. They have a couple. One's in Cannon Beach. There's some big vats over here. So I'm gonna try to get some cans to go so that I can have them later tonight, since we're driving right now. We'll see if we can get some. Here is the brewing section. They've won a lot of medals too. Well, I ended up settling on this one. Kiwanda is a cream ale. It's the one that they're famous for. So I'll get to try it out later tonight. We're at Tillamook, and there is a Belgian style brewing in the lambic style, but they can't call themselves lambic because we're not in Belgium. But they brew their beers in a sour beer kind of way. And so this is one of them. It's called the Raspberry Premier. So gonna try this guy, see how it tastes. Here's the logo, the Garde. Oh wow, that is very sour. Interesting. It's almost like a cider. Very, very interesting and very yummy. I read about this place. They got a lot of awards for their beers. Fascinating. It's almost like a wine almost. Pretty cool. Well, we got to Yachats. 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 Sounds like yachts. As Yachats. And we saw these billboards and online reviews for this place called Lunacy. Crazy. Lunacy Fish House. So we're here, and the seating area is down in the back. And there's cool, like, I don't know if that's for crabs or something. Some kind of gear for, I think they're crab traps or something. But yeah, it's time to try another Pacific Northwest brew. This one's gonna be from Depoe Bay, which is, we just passed it on the way here. Well, the tap ran out mid-pour, so they're gonna get me another one. This is a this is an IPA from Depoe Bay, D-E-P-O-E, Depoe Bay. Yeah, I miss the hops and the barley. No, the Garde beer was really interesting. That was actually made with 98% barley and 2% oats. But it tasted like a wine or cider, like a mix between a wine and a cider. Very interesting, very tasty. Very different too. This is more of what I'm used to. I'll tell you a story about a grocery store we saw on the way here later, when we get to the campsite. Well, we got the newly tapped beer, bean burritos, salad, and fish tacos. Nearby Lunacy, we heard of a place called Thor's Well. This is a lot of warning signs. I think this place is dangerous. Well, we kind of paid attention to the warning signs, but we also went out closer to Thor's Well, which is a blowhole. It's like a cave and a water geyser. In the distance behind me is a cave system where the waves enter and they create this sound like Thor slamming his hammer down into the earth. It's pretty cool. This place is near Yachats. Driving down the Oregon coast reminded me of when I used to live on the Central Californian coast. This drive kind of reminds me of the Big Sur coastline, but wetter. The Big Sur coastline also has fogs and clouds kind of like this. There were countless beautiful beaches, some with some pretty cool surf breaks that I wish I could surf. But I'm not sure how cold and treacherous the water is here. But maybe one day. We got to the campsite, but it's really dark. So I'm gonna have to tell you about the Pelican beer, the Kiwanda beer tomorrow. And that story about the grocery store. But for now, we've got a nice campfire. For some reason, this lizard reminded me of a person. The way it moves made me think of someone saying, "Ah, crap, why am I born this shit again?" This furry creature has a very different outlook on life, a very happy one. Where are we? Where did Doobie go? The sand you see here is actually worn down sediment from the mountains of Oregon. Carried downstream on rivers and accumulated on the beach and then blown back up the beach by the wind. So what we're seeing here is ground up mountain. We are at the Oregon Dunes. I think it's a national recreation area, and it's pretty cool. Look at giant dunes. That's like a 5-story, 6-story building in height. It feels weird to be walking on sand dunes. But we are in Oregon, and it is raining, so it's kind of weird to see sand dunes and rain. Doobie's having a great time. Now this goes all the way to the ocean, but there's some snowy plover habitat at the beach side, so we can't go all the way to the beach because it's closed. What you doing? Well, I was recording and I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So I was gonna say that we tried the Kiwanda ale, really good, like a cream soda. It tasted better in the brewery because they had ice cold, whereas at the campsite it was a little lukewarm, unfortunately. But really good. Doobie is wearing herself out, running around in circles. This is the last day of our journey. We're gonna head back to Washington now, which means one more brewery. We're gonna stop by Columbia River Brewery called Grains of Wrath. Grapes of Wrath is a Steinbeck novel. But this brewery still fits within the theme of Oregon and Washington coast, because Columbia River kind of is like a coastline that goes inland in between the two states. So this brewery has won some, has some top-rated beers from Washington, so I want to try that place out. But I'm looking forward to going home too. It's been a really cool trip. Really cool to check out all kinds of interesting places like this. Oh, these dunes, they just seem to go for really, really, really far. wonder if we could like bring a sled and slide down these. That might be fun. I tried sliding down this, but it doesn't work. So we're going to roll! Oh! Oh! Ow! I probably should have taken my backpack off. Super. Oh man. Well, we made it to the final destination of this trip, which is the Grains of Wrath. And I'll show you the little icon emblem. Really cool gastro pub here. I'll show you quickly. Busy place. And they're known for their IPAs. So really hoppy beers. So I got a flight. Show you. So they have like multiple different IPA versions. This one's called Built for Speed. This one is Destination Funeral. Panopticon. And this one's a Vienna lager. So they have different kinds of beers. But most of them are IPAs. They have some double and triple IPAs, which would be like really heavy on the alcohol content. But I'm just sticking with just IPAs and kind of interested in the lager. Let's give it. Let's do Destination Funeral. Let's see how this one goes. Ooh, it's like kind of bitter, but peppery too. Whoa, that's really good. It's crisp. All right, we're gonna compare it to the Panopticon. Nice, beautiful color. This one has more of a rounded butterscotch taste to it. That's the Panopticon. And then Built for Speed. It's a little clearer here. A little bit more malty. Of those three, I think the Destination Funeral with the peppery taste is pretty good. I mean, it's very good. Now I'm gonna try the Vienna lager. Now this one has more amber color. Oh yeah, it doesn't have the hop forward taste. It's just smooth. Really good beers. Glad I got to come here. And we're gonna get some food and gonna just maybe try some more. I said I was done, but I'm not, because this beer is really, really good. So this is Grains of Wrath Brewery in Camas, Washington, which is just across the river from Portland. So if you live in Portland, it's really close. It's on the Columbia River in a really cute town. But we got some food. We got some Brussels sprouts with buffalo sauce, onion rings, wedge salad, and these. Well, I should talk about the last four. I had 3 IPAs and a lager, and the Destination Funeral was really, really, I think, the best one out of those 3. They have six West Coast IPAs, so I only tried 3 of them, but the Destination Funeral was really good. Now, here, you can see we got different colors. This one is the Falling Up. It's a black IPA with citrus roast chocolate is the notes. This one is Punch Face. This is a double IPA, so higher alcohol by volume. And the notes say citrus, passion fruit, tropical punch. Ooh, that sounds good. And then this one's a Pilsner, a West Coast Pilsner, Rancho Cowabunga. Mango, tangerine, and pineapple. This one is a collaboration with Fort George Brewing. I don't know where Fort George is, but I might have to go check that out at some point. But this is a stout. So vanilla, chocolate, and graham crackers. So we're gonna try this black IPA. Oh, that's really smooth. Kind of like coffee, chocolate. Uh-oh. Doopy actually tried some of this because I accidentally spilled some and she drank some off the ground. Falling Upward. Black IPA. Never heard of black IPAs, but that one is very good. I should try the stout. So this is the other dark one. This is called Spirit Creature. Oh, that tastes like a hot chocolate with vanilla flavor in it. I think that's a little too sweet for me, but okay, we'll try the Rancho Cowabunga Pilsner. Really light beer. Easy to drink. Good with meals. The last one was the double IPA, Punch Face Champion. Nice color. Yeah, that's really hoppy. That's really delicious. It's the last beer, so I don't know if my judgment is as good, but I think that might be the best one. The black IPA and this Punch Face Champion. Alright, well that's the end of the video. Bye.